I have a lot of friends who are still active in law enforcement. The stories I hear, everybody wants out. It's like lawlessness. They can't do their job. Nobody listens to law enforcement anymore. I have a buddy up in Boulder, Colorado. He said, I've never seen anything like it in the city. And he's been there for almost 20 years.
And what do you mean by that? Like you see, cause like, I'm a big fan of law and order. I'm a big fan of rules. Obviously I'm a CEO of a company, so I live by principles and rules here. And so I'm a huge fan of order. I'm also a big fan of Jordan Peterson saying of you need alphas who know they can create damage, who stand in the gap and protect people. You just do. And I think this whole, from Biden, and I don't want to make it political, but from Biden becoming president to that setting off this chain reaction in the world of people being like, no one's going to step in the gap anymore. Who gives a shit?
Right.
So you have lawlessness in the world, and then you have lawlessness in all these. I saw an article yesterday. Walmart this year is going to lose $3 billion.
I saw that.
Due to theft.
I saw that.
$3 billion because they can't do anything about it. That's insane. So is Target. I think their number is like 1.5. I'm on social media quite a bit as well. Obviously, it's part of our job here and my job, I guess, as I build my own brand. You see these videos of lawlessness happening in cities, and it's so hard to trust anything anymore. Right. You're like, is this really happening, or was this already happening? And they're just highlighting it now. But you're saying you have fellow colleagues still in the business who are saying it's in pandemonium.
Yes.
And what does that mean? Like,
well, for one, like just the mental health, obviously cops have always been somebody who responds to mental health crises. Crises. Yeah. It's just never been this way before. It's always kind of been part of the job, but now it's like 90% of the job is dealing with people who are not on medication or taking too much medication, something along those lines. And you're saying the guy, because Chris Camozzi's brother, Brian Camozzi, shout out if he hears this, he's new to law enforcement. He runs the 5 Points beat. So tough neighborhood. Yep. The stories he has in the first 6 months of it is already nuts. Like multiple standoffs with, where he's like, I had my gun on this guy for like 6 hours. Yep. So you're saying it's a mental crisis in terms of this guy has a mental disorder. We don't know what it is. He grabbed a knife that night, is running through the streets because he's having a paranoid breakdown. Cops show up. That's what they're dealing with. Right. And then just people not obeying orders. Like, F you, dude. Like, people don't pull over for cops anymore. They know that cops can't chase them anymore. Most police departments don't have a...
Is that true?
Yeah. Most agencies do have a no chase policy in place because it's too dangerous, which I get, okay, somebody going to run and you're pulling them over for, 10 over. Maybe they're wanted for something. Obviously they are. They don't want to get pulled over. Driving without a license, whatever it is, right? Is it worth risking the public's safety to apprehend them? Probably not.
So is it not that you're, again, super involved anymore, but is it basically company policy not to, if someone runs, you just let them go?
Correct. Yeah. The supervisor who's working, they'll make the call. Hey, what are the charges? Right now, just a broken headlight.
So that's crazy. So if somebody is breaking the law, someone will call in, hey boss, I got a 10-11, doesn't seem like too much of a threat. The boss may just go, yeah, let him go.
Yep.
Wow. Why?
Liability and scared to be on the news. And, it's because the cops get crucified before there's any sort of trial. So, it's always guilty in public perception before anything happens in the court of law. So, however the story is portrayed to the public is what it's going to be, no matter how it ends.
Wow. So when he said lawlessness, does he just mean like theft? Like, what does that mean?
Anything. Yeah. So, break-ins, burglaries, car thefts, mental episodes, and then just people not having that common respect. And I wouldn't say for authority, but just, your common man, like, hey, can I talk to you? Suspect or, match the description of something. No, fuck you. And just keep, and it's just so common these days where there was a mutual respect way back in the day. And it just,
there was and I would even say for just authority in general, like when a president would get elected, when I was a heavy churchgoer, one of the pastors gave this talk once on, no matter who holds that office, you can disagree with their policy, but he is your commander in chief.
Right.
And they would teach, you have to respect, we used to respect elders. We used to respect authority. We used to, and and not unchecked. Do you know what I mean? If someone's being a tyrant, you're going to stand up against it. But yeah, you're right. There's a general deterioration of value anymore.
It's become, there's like so much tribalism where it's, if you're not over here and you're over here, well, you suck, you're bad. You know, there's just so much tribalism that it's just eating away at our country. But yeah, like, why would you not want the person running your country to be successful? Even
right. Yeah. That's a good point.